Hey, my name is Shannon and this is my pup Gracie. We are living in this Ram ProMaster 3500 Extended. We've been in it about 6 months now and I'd love to show you inside. So this is the kitchen space. Something that was really important to me because I love to cook was to have an extension of my countertop and to have as much space as possible. So I designed this flip-up counter. It's all made out of butcher block and it's stained with the natural color of the birch wood. So this sink I ordered off of Amazon. I ordered it thinking that it would be more square shape, and it turns out it's actually a bathroom sink, which fits nice for the farmhouse look, but it's actually kind of curved in, which hindsight I didn't like, but now I think it's awesome. And because when you're on unlevel surfaces, everything kind of pools to the center and drains perfectly. I got this sink that duals as a shower outside if you want, or to hose off dishes. The sink is hooked up to a 40-gallon freshwater tank. It's a lot, but it's awesome because I also have a shower. And so I fill up every maybe 4 to 5 days. So it lasts me a while. My upper cabinets, first of all, the paint on these cabinets is Dollar Bill Green by Benjamin Moore. I wanted to add a little bit of color to the cabinets, so I chose that color. And then in the cabinets up here are all toiletry, laundry, everything. So everything from like my toothpaste, hand soap, hair product, perfume, makeup, all contained up in the upper cabinets. A lot of people have these in their vans, but I've seen a lot where people screw them in. I decided to go with the little magnet, and these are 3M magnets off of Amazon. And then inside the top here is a little magnet, so they hold very well. They don't fall off. I have hooks for these little baskets I got. Usually I put fruit inside, lemons, limes, flowers right now, olive oil, and just an extra space to house like the things I use on a daily basis. And then the backsplash here is a scallop tile by Dal Tile. And then I got this mirror from Etsy. I like the shape and the little funkiness of the tie at the top. For my countertop, again, it's the Birch butcher block. I love the warmth of the wood mixed with the green cabinet fronts. And then I opted for, instead of a propane, I have the true induction. It runs off of AC. It works really well. I haven't had any complaints about it. I can cook everything from stir fries to burgers on it. Whatever you want, it does the job. So underneath the sink, I have everything from my dog food to the trash can to cleaning supplies. It's pretty much utilities under here. This drawer right here is all of my cutlery, bottle opener, scissors, lighter. In this drawer right here is my rice cooker, and it comes in handy because I only have one burner and I like to cook the rice or pasta or whatever. It also steams veggies at the same time, but while I'm like stir frying up veggies, I can use the rice cooker. I have my Ninja blender and then my Tupperware as well in here. And then the bottom drawer is just my pots and pans. Houses that pretty well. And then in this drawer is my junk drawer. So I have these little bamboo dividers. It's really handy for keeping things somewhat organized. And then in this drawer is my cutting board, my bowls, plates, measuring cups, and then the bottom drawer is all of my glassware. I like to keep glassware. It makes me feel a little bit at home. I know a lot of people do metal or plastic, but I have these little drawer dividers down here that kind of keeps them somewhat contained and not rattling while you drive. So this is my pantry right here. I originally thought to do an extension of the countertops over here. So I wanted to have countertops and an upper cabinet, but I realized I needed a lot more space for appliances and like just extra knickknacks since I didn't have the garage space in the back. So I'm very happy with going with the pantry. It's extremely deep. It's as deep as the shower right there, and the bottom level holds my extra spices that are in the kitchen, my books, my fan for at night, toaster. Second level is all of my grains and pasta and whatever, bagels, chips. And then the top level is more my coffee, my protein, my super greens, paper towel. It's heaven to have this much space for storage. It's great. This is the isotherm fridge. It runs off of 12-volt power, DC power. I put all my stickers, well, the places I've gone so far, national parks or just different areas that I like, fun stickers. And it holds quite a bit. It's a bit messy right now, but you know, everything you need. A little freezer here has ice cubes, and it's great. I don't need any more space than that. Usually do about a weekly grocery run, and yeah, I love it. So I got a degree in interior design, and I, for the past 6 years, have been doing corporate interior design. And when I knew I wanted to transition into van life, I knew the programs to design the whole space and 3D model it. So I did that. Everything you see in this van I've built in 3D. And I had a van builder do it because at the time I felt I wasn't equipped to do it, but the people who did build this van is Master Overland, and they are great. They're based out of Florida currently, and they did a phenomenal job. They took everything that I wanted and put it into the van and made it come to life. And to be honest, if you show my 3D model next to the build, it's spot on. It's everything I wanted. So they did an awesome job. So I have a Max fan that keeps us pretty cool in the van. I cover it with Muha. They make these really cool custom covers. I have these push latches that keep the closets and all the drawers closed while you're driving. I have about 12 inches of space for all my hanging clothes, sweatshirts, t-shirts, pajamas. It's enough space. I actually wear a lot of the same things over and over. I've definitely downsized a lot. I specifically designed a ski closet because I love skiing and I don't have the garage in the back, as you'll see later. So I wanted a place to house my skis, which are not in here right now, but they will be next winter. But right now, it's awesome for hanging up my towel. I have my chairs, folding chairs for outside. It's really an all-purpose closet, but it's come in handy for a lot of things. I designed 3 drawers for the rest of my clothes. The top drawer, you know, sports bras and swimsuits. Second one is underwear. And then third one is all my running gear stuffed into the bottom. I have a little shoe basket here for all the shoes that I keep inside. And then I have a swivel seat that is great for when friends come in the van or Gracie wants to sit on the seat and hang out. And this is my shower. I wanted to do a full-sized shower because as I mentioned earlier, I'm a big runner. The closing door is called the Nautilus door. It's a self-cleaning door. A lot of vans have it. It's really good for privacy when you need it. I have a little light that turns on just by your hand, LED light, and lights up the shower space. And I have a shower curtain because it seems a little odd, but it actually helps for when you're showering so you don't get it all in the toilet space and you don't have to clean all the water off afterwards. It's FRP panels. It's very clean, easy to clean. So this is the Simplu toilet. It is a European brand. I opted for this because it's a sleek design. It's not a composting toilet. It is connected to the gray water tank. All number 1 goes down to the gray water tank. There's no black water. And then I have a bag area where you can go number 2 if you want. I choose not to do that in here. I mean, unless there's an emergency. I have a teak floor mat. Just adds a little warmth to the bathroom. And I keep Gracie's water bowl in here, so if it spills or if she splashes around, it all goes down to the gray water tank. I have a shower head that is detachable, so when you're in the shower you can easily just hose off, doing the whole military shower thing. To get the shower hot, I have a hot water heater that you have to turn on about 30 minutes prior to taking a shower, depending on the temperature outside. And it's run off of the inverter, so it heats up to an awesome temperature, stays hot as long as you want, and it's pretty good. It's awesome. I wanted to add some artwork to the wall to make it more homey and more me, so I added this little piece up here. It's a kind of living wall, if you will. This I've had for quite a while. It's by Thich, and I loved his artwork and his saying, "Go as a river." It kind of represents my life and kind of going with the flow. And then I bought these 2 vases from Orcas Island, and I just love the vases, and I thought it went with the aesthetic of my van. So I have AC up here. I wanted to do AC. I know it draws a lot of power, but I have a dog and I like to go to national parks, so I don't want to feel guilty leaving her in a hot car, nor would I. So I keep her in the van, very cool, with the AC unit running when it is hot temperatures, and she can be very comfortable. So with having an AC, you do need a lot of power. I have 600 amp hours of battery, so 2 packs of battery, lithium batteries, and then I have 620 watts of solar. It's a lot, but when I'm running this puppy, it draws a lot, so it's worth it to me, and I work on the road as well, so. So after I designed mine, I got kind of like into designing vans, and I was like, man, I could probably make a living off of designing vans. And it just so happened that someone I had met a couple years ago who now has a van company was hiring an interior designer. They are West Coast Adventure Vehicles, and they're up in Northern California. And I interviewed with them, and now I'm working with them, and I'm their build and design planner. This is my dining area. I hang out here a lot when I'm working or relaxing or watching a movie. I have the Lagoon swivel mount table. It comes around and swivels in place, and I can work this way. I can have friends over there. It's fun. I like having the table, and it's a great workspace. It also duals, it's the Lagoon table, so it duals as if you take this off and put it in this area right here, this whole space can become a bed. I have these windows, which are awesome. I highly recommend them. They're dual pane, so they hold in the insulation really well. They close up like that, or you can crack them if you want a little bit of airflow. But when it's a nice day, I open it up and then have a bug screen this way, and then when I'm ready to go to bed, they dual as blackout shades as well. So the nice thing about having this area dual as a bed with the tabletop going down in this area is that I can have guests here, and it kind of doubles as a bunk bed because this guy up here comes down, and that's my bed. So I really wanted a bed that came down from the ceiling, because not only do I get to kind of do the bunk bed version to have friends over, but I really wanted the dinette area to work and have meals and have guests over, and I didn't want to always convert it into the bed. I decided to go with the Eurolift bed lift, and all you do is press a little button right here and the bed comes down. And it comes down pretty far, and that way I can just hop on in and have my bed already made or not made and kind of shove it back up there if I don't make it. So it's been really helpful and a lot easier than converting the dinette into a bed every single day. I bought this knife magnetic holder, and I decided to use it for my phone at night since I don't really have, since the bed goes up and down, I don't have a place to put my phone. So it just magnets on right there, doesn't hurt the phone, and super useful. And I also have up here, when I get into bed, a light switch, so I can turn all those or turn this one on first and then turn all those ones off and get into bed, and it also dims as well, which is super nice. So one thing I added to the van recently, because I like hosting people and having people over, is a projection screen, but it's just a window screen that you put in front of a window, and I mounted it up there and acts perfectly as a projection. And so, like, for instance, the other day I was in Utah and it started snowing, so we couldn't really do anything outside, so I just had my friend over, we made this into a bed, watched a movie, and chilled out. It was awesome. So I'm a solo female on the road, and I had a lot of hesitations. Oh, there goes Gracie. I had a lot of hesitations in the beginning with my safety, and so did a lot of family members. But my experience has been a lot different than what I expected. I have felt so safe in the van, especially because a lot of the time you're out in the wilderness, BLM land, and you're not really in cities where maybe more crime happens. And I've just felt really safe. I do take precautions. I obviously have a dog, and she is really good at barking when someone knocks on the door. Even like when it's just a friend, she barks, and she is definitely a watchdog for me there. I think safety is definitely really important for solo females, but I don't think you should dwell on it too much and let it prohibit you from doing this lifestyle. There's so much more to it that is so amazing, and I think that's just a little bit of it. It's easy to make things up in your mind of what if this happens, and get scared by that. I was definitely scared of all these things before I moved into the van, but now I feel very safe. I actually feel more safe in here than I do in a big home. So here's the back of my van. These open up 180 degrees. It's really nice for when you have a good day like today and you can have the back all open. Since I don't have a garage, I have a bunch of doors back here that kind of act as my garage area. This front one houses all my inverter batteries. It has a lot of storage space as well. And then I just have random things like a blanket, tools. In the middle compartment, I keep my shoes and my laundry basket. The bottom shoe box is for like my dirty shoes, hiking shoes, running shoes, trail shoes. What's kind of cool about this is my laundry's right here, but it has a secret compartment that I can shove down the laundry and it kind of pops down into there. This last piece right here is all my water stuff. So I have my water tank back there, the 40 gallons. And then in this compartment right here is an outdoor shower. I did this because mainly my dog, if she gets ever really dirty or gets into who knows what. But it's also really good for dirty like hiking shoes. You can spray them off before putting them back in here. And then I really wanted to do the outdoor table, so I built this in on the bottom, and it extends pretty far, and then you can just grab a chair, put it right there, and it's really nice for when you're outside. Thanks for following along on my van tour. It's been great having you. If you want to check me out on Instagram, I'm Shannon, and my Instagram handle is ShanInAVan. I also do designs for vans, as I mentioned before, so if you want me to design your van, you can check me out at West Coast Adventure Vehicles, and I'd love to see you guys on the road.